I got my own guitar, I know the chords. I play my cigar, lay flat on the floor. The east and the west, their battles won't matter. Only the music can settle the score. Rock till you die. Rock till you die. You die all alone, then turning to bone. So rock till you die. Yeah, bones remembering my eyes, and when they eat my flesh. But I got the power to win all the hours and rock my life away. The sound of the crowd, the creak of the bones. I play it so loud with my mates or alone. It don't really matter if my world should shatter. I hold it together in honor to stone. Rock till you die. Rock till you die. You die all alone, then turning to bone. So rock till you die. Rock till you die. Rock till you die. You die alone, then turning to bone. So rock till you die. Rock till you die. Rock till you die. You die alone and turn back to bone. So rock till you die. Rock till you die. Rock till you die. You die alone and turning to bone. So rock till you die. Rock till you die. Rock till you die. Rock till you die.
Oh, hi, audience. What's up? It's Greg Sestero here to introduce you to the True Blue Riffcast, where they talk about amazing movies, bad movies, and everything in between. So you're listening to the True Blue Riffcast. Enjoy it.
Okay, so hey everybody, welcome. It is the True Blue Riffcast, the number one RiffTrax podcast in the world. I'm Dave, and I guess Jeremy's microphone isn't working. I can hear him just fine here in my car, and I'm just vamping now. So I guess I will just talk to chat. And you know what? This is great because the longer Jeremy has technical difficulties, the longer we don't have to talk about the incredible bulk or the amazing bulk. I don't even know the name of this movie that I hate so much and that RiffTrax made me watch again. Yeah, so let's see here. Jeremy's still doing stuff here. So I'm just going to talk to the chat. I'm sure this will be great for everybody who's listening, not to the live, if they're listening in Spotify,
Hello.
Apple Music.
Hey, there we go.
Oh, Jeremy's here. Okay. So, yes. Jeremy, how are things?
Things are pretty good right now. The Kickstarter ended for RiffTrax Live yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
It's their most successful Kickstarter to date.
It's crazy. Is it really?
Unlocked some good things toward the very end there. I just got
what did it end as? End at, I guess I should say.
The final number for the Kickstarter this year, if it'll load the rest of the way, $656,213. So
that's more money than
8,010 backers.
Isn't that more money than Mr. Science Theater raised in their last fundraising?
No,
thing?
they got like 1 point something million.
They shot too high. RiffTrax says it right.
But they unlocked
But,
the RiffTrax Goes mini golfing. We had them go to Golden Corral. That was a video we just recently got. That was from last year's Kickstarter.
That looked like it was. Yeah, that didn't look like. Oh, we talked about it on the podcast.
The one from before that was them going fishing. Rivius was backer 8,000. Nice. And
me and Jeremy were super early.
I was backer number 9. I was in the single digits.
I was like right after you.
Yeah, you
somewhere
were right up
there.
there.
So I did want to, because I didn't get a chance to talk to the chat while I was vamping, and I just wanted to read some of the stuff that chat was saying. Rivius asks, what's a good movie you'd want to see riffed? That's a good question. I will let Jeremy take that.
A good movie that I'd want to see
What's
riffed?
a good movie that you would want to see riffed?
Oh, man. There's definitely a few that they could do. I mean, they already did Wizard of Oz, which was an outstanding riff. And I think we may have talked about that one. I don't remember if we did for sure. I'd have to look it up.
I think I did. I talked about it. It was super early on. It was like, I think it was like before the pandemic. I recently rewatched it and I talked about it. It should be on the master list.
Yeah.
I talked about that, like, oh, this was really good. And guess what? That riff is a decade old now.
That's ridiculous to me because it doesn't
It
seem
feels
like
like
it should
the
be
other
that
day.
old.
No, it really shouldn't. No. As for me, I've said many times that I'd like to see the Ten Commandments riffed. I'd like to see Watchmen riffed.
I think if they did Ten Commandments, that would have to be a tag team thing like they did with Batman v Superman. Yeah,
because it's almost 4 hours long. Another good movie, like what? Like, are we talking about like current, like Lord of the Rings type of really good movies? Like recent good movies?
Recent good movies? Is there such a thing?
I don't know if that's such a thing.
There haven't been a lot of those that are like amazingly good.
I think recent movies, I think the one that I think I would like to see riffed most is probably Madam Web.
I would love to see them tear Madam Web to shreds, but that's definitely not a good movie by any stretch of the imagination. I know it's not a good movie, but I would like to see maybe one of the newer American Godzilla movies. I would like to see that riffed.
Yeah. So Oliver Oling says Barbie and Rivius says Oppenheimer. That would have been good, I think, last year because of all the memes. But, I mean, obviously they couldn't because it was still in theaters.
Yeah. Kong Skull Island would be a good one.
Yeah. I think that, like, the key during the MP3 era was to riff movies that were very popular and that people would be maybe movies that people already owned, like The Hunger Games and Harry Potter and Twilight and things like that. Things that were very relevant in the culture. So I think, I don't know what's relevant to, like, what movies are relevant in the culture now that, like, Marvel is basically over. It has been for a number of years, for all intensive purposes.
Did you have to say it like that?
I did. That's the joke.
I know. I hate it though. Drives
all
me crazy.
Intensive purposes.
almost as much as people calling hot dogs glizzies. That's like the worst, like, current-ish, like, slang. I hate it so much.
What the hell are you talking about?
They call hot dogs glizzies. I don't know. I'm too old. I don't know what it means.
Chat, look this up on Urban Dictionary. I need to know if this is a real thing. I need confirmation that hot dogs are called glizzies. And I'm taking every opportunity that presents itself, and this is the perfect one, to avoid talking about the amazing bulk. I mean, I know we have quite a few. Lizzie Borden took an axe.
I don't. That's.
Lizzie Borden.
I think that's. Apparently, it was originally slang for Glock or gun, and then somebody realized that a hot dog was about the same length. Apparently, which is the same length of a hot dog.
People listening on
That's what
Spotify and Apple Music, they can't see my face, which is good because they can't see like how disgustingly fat it's gotten in the last couple of months. But they also can't see my reaction to the things that are coming out of Jeremy's mouth.
I have an employee that calls hot dogs that on purpose because he knows how much I hate it. And he says it just to get a rise out of me, and it works because it's awful.
Speaking of Jeremy's work, Jeremy,
welcome to RiffTrax, folks.
Do you have any news for us from the box office? I'm trying to move things along now.
Yeah,
because we've talked about
Godzilla
random
and
nothing.
Kong was number one again. It was a much slower weekend overall. Monkey Man debuted at number 2. Ghostbusters
What
Frozen
is that?
Empire at number 3. The First Element at number 4, and Kung Fu Panda down to 5th place. Monkey Man is one of those. It's the newest in a trend of the hyper-violent revenge movies. This one starring and directed by Dev Patel. It looks interesting. It looks brutal. But yeah, I think Oliver saw that one.
Oh yeah, he
over
was
this
saying that
past
in
weekend.
Discord. Saw Monkey Man and something else.
Yeah, Monkey Man and the Letters one, Pretty Little Letters or something.
Yeah. Oh, John Wick. Speaking of John Wick, I was going to bring this up on a podcast. I watched that a few months ago, and I started watching the sequels a little bit. I was saying John Wick. They're talking about John Wick and talking about hyper-violent revenge stuff.
Yeah.
The first one seems like it was genuine, but that doesn't make it not stupid. But I can at least respect it on like that level. The rest of those movies are just straight trash.
Yeah.
And I think that pretty much covers my opinion about John Wick. I mean, I saw it, I'm like, but this is it. This is what everyone was like. So I can respect, if not, get on board with it, that it is a good movie. It is not. But I can respect it. The sequels, I cannot.
Speaking of things that you don't respect, let's take a peek at the world of James Wan.
Oh, you said we weren't going to do this.
I just had to mention this last week. We didn't have a show just because I was exhausted physically and mentally. I was feeling sick. I kind of lost my voice and everything. But last Tuesday was James Wan's birthday.
Oh God!
And I was kind of mad that I didn't get to bring that up on the show last week. So that's it. That's
what do you
all
mean?
I
You're
wanted
doing
to
it
do.
right now.
I know. Last week I didn't get to mention it on his actual birthday. But yeah, that's it. That's all I wanted to say about James Wan. Other than that, before we get into the amazing bulk, we have Dave That Riff today.
Oh yes. So I think that like this will, if I can do well in Dave That Riff tonight, I think it might redeem the evening for me having to talk about the amazing bulk and everyone enjoying how angry I am for having to watch this movie again.
I'm going to assume that this one's not going to be too difficult for you.
Oh?
Just in general.
Okay.
I wasn't trying to be easy, but what I ended up with, I don't think will be too difficult. Maybe one of them might trip you up.
Okay.
More than the rest of them, but
it's a versus battle.
This is a versus battle because I really like doing these. I think these are a lot of fun.
Yeah, I like I think the versus battle. I'm not saying that that's going to be the way it's going to be from here on out, but I think it's what I'm going to do for Name That Jeremy.
It's
But,
too much fun.
Yeah.
All right, so our 2 movies this week for Dave
Okay.
are The Little Unicorn
Okay.
and one of Graydon Clark's masterpieces, The Uninvited. That's the one about the evil cat living inside of the other cat.
Yes, I know that.
Okay.
But like these 2 movies?
These 2 movies. Mostly because
Okay.
I rewatched Uninvited. And I don't know, I just picked Little Unicorn to go along with it.
Yeah, this is strange. I haven't seen I don't think I've seen the Little Unicorn in years. Uninvited does like cross my memory a little bit from time to time, but now let me see if okay, the Little Unicorn, that's one of those South Africa movies, right?
Yep.
Trying to remember anything about it. I know there's kids in it.
Kidnapped and taken to a circus.
Yeah.
And
So
it was one of those
okay, so
movies.
It could be a bloodbath. I don't know. Well,
Now I think you'll be able to get this. All right.
Okay.
All right.
All right.
First one.
All right. Let's do it.
Our first one. Here we go. Let's see. Which one do I want to do first? Mind answering a few questions for a 1920s newspaper, bub?
I think that's the Little Unicorn.
That is indeed the Little Unicorn.
Nobody would say that in Uninvited.
Yeah. I actually think all of these are riffs. I don't think any of them were quotes. I'm looking over. Yes, they're definitely all riffs. All right, here we go. The next one. Well, all this time we've been watching a cheap cartoon, huh?
Oh, that's the Little Unicorn.
That's the Little Unicorn. 2 for 2.
Okay. I could still mess this up. I could still like.
But I don't see it happening.
So yeah.
In a shocking twist, it ends in a Malibu Sands episode of Saved by the Bell.
I'm gonna say that's the Little Unicorn.
Ooh, that is The Uninvited.
Really?
Yeah, right at the very end.
Because the ending. Okay, well, I mean, the ending is the kid from Star Games.
Yeah, it's kids.
And I thought it was I thought that it would be a reference to Star Games because I remember that the very last riff was him on the beach and they'd be like, they referenced him being the kid in the Star Games.
Yeah, this is like right before
I just
that.
assumed. Oh, okay. So I guess all right. Well, oh well.
All right, 2 for 3. Ominous syringe lifting is a full course in medical school.
Well, I would have to assume that's Uninvited.
It is indeed Uninvited. All right, so you just need one more to pass.
Okay.
Let's get this out of the way. Yes, Ricardo Montalban turned down this role.
That's a coin flip right there. Like which role is he talking about? Ricardo Montalban. Well, there's no way Ricardo. Well, because David Warner and Malcolm McDowell show up all the time in those Meg movies. Like man. So it's not. It's not beyond the realm of possibility that Ricardo Montalban could have turned down a role in The Little Unicorn. But I don't see Graydon Clark approaching Ricardo Montalban to be an Uninvited. That's just tough. It's a coin flip. I'm going to say Uninvited.
That is The Little Unicorn.
Damn it.
That was
So
the
what
one
am
that
I
I
at?
figured would probably trip you up. Because if you think about it, like he could have been.
He could conceivably have
either.
been in either. Yeah. Well, I mean, also he turned it down. That's the thing.
And then the last one, Dave. So you got to get this one right to pass.
Oh, am I at 6 already?
I think you can do it. I think you can do it.
All right. Well, all right. Okay.
Now, if I'm not mistaken, I look like 1970s Randy Newman.
70s Randy Newman. I don't think a character like that exists in Little Unicorn, so I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to say that's uninvited.
That is indeed uninvited.
Yes!
So 4 for 6.
Bare
passed.
minimum.
It's still passing. That's all that matters.
I am not a failure. I am C's to get degrees, or as Charlie B would always say, B's get degrees. If you know, you know. Was that the Clu Gulager character?
No.
Was that the guy who got all drunk and started singing Battle Hymn of the Republic?
No. I think that was the guy, but that wasn't the guy I was referencing. He was like the photographer guy or whatever. I guess we can't postpone it anymore, Dave.
Okay.
Are you ready? It's time.
Yeah,
it's time to not
I'm
get
gonna let
mad,
you take the lead.
but get purple.
All right. I know I'm all alone on this. I know everyone loves this. They're just like, "Oh my gosh, this is the greatest thing ever." The Amazing Bulk. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm just gonna lay my cards out on the table here because I'm pretty sure we've talked about how I feel about this movie in the recent past.
I think we both talked about, because I wasn't really a big fan of it either. It didn't hurt me as much as it hurt you, but
yeah. Well, this is the worst movie RiffTrax has done. This give me. I mean, we can go through them, and it might be fun to go through them.
All right,
you can throw RiffTrax movies at me, and I can tell you. Okay.
Of our riffs that we won't watch again.
Okay.
I don't think I have to update it with anything recent.
No, I don't think so.
I don't remember. The first one on the list is Cats.
This is worse.
Then we have Copper Mountain.
This is worse.
Then we have Cyclone.
Well, I don't even think about Cyclone, so this is worse than that.
The Castle of Fu Manchu.
This is worse.
And Hobgoblins 2.
Ooh, see, now I was thinking about this like 2 or 3 days ago, maybe even yesterday. Hobgoblins 2 came into my head as one that might be a toss-up on if this is worse than The Amazing Bulk. Now, I can give you many reasons why Hobgoblins 2 is a bad movie, because there's no sets, there's no microphones, but at least they went outside.
They did.
And if you look at something like Baby Ghost didn't go outside. And I know they say like Baby Ghost makes Roller Gator look like a sprawling vista, but Baby Ghost, like, it had at least it had like Joe Estevez in it,
and it did have actual sets, like,
yeah.
Unlike this movie,
that's the thing. Like okay, so we'll get into it, but like all those movies exist in space, exists in actual real places. This movie doesn't doesn't have that, and that's not really even the word. Well, maybe it is. Anyway, so Jeremy, properly introduced this movie.
All right, so The Amazing Bulk was originally filmed, if you want to call it that, because I don't consider this necessarily to be an actual movie. It was filmed in 2008. It was released directly on DVD in 2012. And it was made as a mockbuster to, of course, The Incredible Hulk.
The Incredible Hulk. Now, see, that was one of the things that like I started thinking about. Like why does this movie exist? Was it some guy saw The Incredible Hulk and was like, that's what I wanted, and he was just like, you know how you kind of get so inspired by something, you want to write something that is like just like it.
Yeah.
Is it something like that, which is totally fine, or was it like a cheap cash grab? Like, I have access to, like, you know, I'm a cheap movie maker and I can like print off a bunch of DVDs that grandma can get at the Kmart and look at it and be like, oh, this will be a great stocking stuffer for little Billy.
This
and
looks like
put
that
it in there
movie
and get
that-
it for
yeah.
like $1. So I think those are like the two options.
Well, here's
And
the
I'm not
thing.
sure which one it is.
If it was the second, this would probably be a little bit better made. And I say this as somebody who's watched a lot of films made by the Asylum, who are known for doing their mockbusters, Transmorphers, Snakes on a Train, stuff like that. Those have better production values than this. Almost any movie has better production values than this. Unless you're talking maybe Things, I don't know. At least, but again, that also has like
yes. Again,
actual,
see, like
stuff.
I think that is the ultimate. I think that is the ultimate. The ultimate argument against like anything being worse than this is that like I can't think of another movie, even movies that I have been in, that don't completely, and we'll get to that. That's a discussion we're going to have in this episode, where I will extensively compare a movie I have been into to The Amazing Bulk. Wait for that. Stay tuned. This movie exists in space.
Yeah,
it exists. Yeah.
This movie is 100% filmed on green screen. Every single scene is filmed on green screen. There may be a small handful of actual physical props. And when I say small, I mean like maybe 10 total props to this movie. And it's okay. It's bad.
So,
it's bad. The backgrounds. Okay, one of the things that you'll notice in this is all of the weird random backgrounds from scene to scene, especially when he's on his way to the supervillain's castle, and he goes by like there's like a golfing thing and a leprechaun, just random. It's because the director took all of the free to use stock background animations
in
that he
whatever
could find
software
online.
he was using. Yeah. Oh,
And that's how he made this movie.
now, well, I mean, there are scenes. I mean, I guess we could get into the story of it, but there are scenes where you can tell that, like, where he tried to build something himself in whatever software he was using, particularly with the cars that they're actually driving in. And there's a particular, like,
If you could call it actually
so,
driving, Dave.
Okay, so the car. Well, I mean, there are no steering wheels in these cars that they actually like shoot these scenes in cars in. Is that they have a sofa, and I guess they pulled in a sofa and they have like the cop or the amazing Bulk and whoever's riding with him, and they have it's just like, oh no, here we're in this car, and he just kind of like painted a car kind of like around the couch in whatever thing is going on. And I think the other thing that I think he probably did was the street that has like Comic Sans signs on the buildings. I think that's something he probably did too.
Yeah,
But like
he used
I
Comic Sans for everything else, so
I think anything you see Comic Sans in, you think he did. And at first you're like your first reaction is like, oh, he's using Comic Sans. Is he being ironic? And I don't think he has that much awareness.
no.
Um,
No.
it's kind of like, and I hate to compare this to Haunted Ween because we actually like that movie. I think he fell into that trap as anybody who like unironically uses Comic Sans does, is that they'll go through the font list. I did it in Haunted Ween, like, ooh, it has comic in it. That must mean this will be funny, and I like funny things, so Comic Sans, and like they don't really have a sense of typography or
Yeah.
style, so they like they can't really see that this is not a good choice, that this is not, and also they're unaware of Comic Sans is like the butt of a lot of typography jokes.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of a way to explain this movie.
Well, okay, so here so it's the Incredible Hulk, and this guy wanted to make his own version of the Incredible Hulk so that he could put it on a bunch of DVDs and put it in Kmart's and stuff, like, like we already talked about.
Yeah.
But he didn't have the budget. Now there's a thing that we found, a Wikipedia page, or it's not a Wikipedia, but it's like a Mockbuster wiki.
Yeah.
And it says that he said in an interview, the director of this movie said that he did all of the scenes CGI. He said that, like, I did that so that I could retain creative control of the movie. Now,
Yeah, he
usually when
financed
people,
the entire thing by himself by using all of these free resources.
yeah. So I think that, like, usually when people talk about retaining creative control, what they're talking about is like they have to get money from other people, and they want input on how the movie is made and what's going on in the story, and who to cast and stuff like that. So it doesn't really have anything to do with, using like CGI sets. So, and I think I was like, okay, but let's take him at his word. Okay, so like he uses these CGI sets, and so now has creative control. He's got it. And he did and what we got was the result of his creativity. Like, okay, I'm in control, and he gives us the amazing Bulk. Like, that's what he chose to do with his freedom. Maybe he shouldn't have had creative control.
I think, yeah, I would agree with that. I have to mention something here that I just saw
Okay.
while I'm scrolling through the actual Wikipedia page for this movie.
Yeah.
On April 5th, 2021,
Oh, so
ebook
recently.
titled The Return of the Amazing Bulk was published on Amazon Prime, serving as a sequel to the film, as it follows Henry Howard as he seeks a cure to return to his normal self while also having to battle a supervillainess named Pandemic.
This about coronavirus?
I'm not I'm not entirely sure. I mean, I'm sure there's
The
going to be
amazing bulk. The amazing bulk fights COVID.
some things about that. I mean, Pam Demick is this is the
Pandemic.
Pam Demick. This is the cover for the book.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so let's get into it. I mean, like we can't dance around it anymore. Let's
All right.
let's get into it. So the movie opens in an alley.
Yep.
And I guess we have like a prostitute.
Yep.
She like she meets this man, and the man's like, you know, he like puts a gun in her mouth and kills her.
Yes. Just
Like,
so you know, this character is credited as Hooker.
okay.
So it wasn't even like, I don't know. That's
Okay,
not really a word
so-
that people use anymore. Like, I don't know, but that's
I don't know,
This
I
dude
use it,
just
but-
comes up to her, offers her a light for her cigarette, and then kills her.
Yeah.
Just kills her. And then
Oh yeah.
he
Okay.
gets-
So another thing about that scene is that I'm remembering the movie now. Is that she's trying to light her cigarettes with matchsticks,
yeah, a box. Like,
and I'm
little
like,
boxes of matches.
yeah, and I'm like, what century is this? Like, get a lighter, you know?
Like, it's not even a book of matches.
Yeah, it's
Which
just
is-
like
it's-
it said, like they're like kitchen matches. Yeah, she's carrying like, I can't light this, like the easiest thing that you
She
can
drops
do.
the match.
Yeah.
Trying to strike it on the box.
So
And then the dude gets murderized by Bulk.
by the amazing bulk, yeah.
Yeah.
Purple Man shows up.
Naked Purple Man who runs off with his ass flapping in the breeze.
Yeah, like brum, 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 like so. And then and then we flash back to I think the lab.
It says
Where-
it says 1 day earlier.
One day earlier. So like a lot of stuff happens in the span like of this day where we where this I get what's the main character's name? Howard something.
Henry
Howard.
Hank Howard.
Yeah. Oh jeez. So Henry is with his assistant, his partner in the lab, and they're doing something, whatever the hell. They're
working on the serum, and they're basically disintegrating rats. while
Yeah.
they're doing it.
So he's just be like, "Oh, I can't believe we're failing." Now, okay, it's gotta like, are they trying to like get their funding cut or something? Like, or no, it's the it's the general. Well, we're gonna talk about that. The general doesn't like Henry because Henry's dating his daughter, and it's like, I don't want you to succeed, so you're gonna get fired or something. So there's like tension between man and father-in-law, who is also a general who doesn't like him. So girl comes in and just be like, "Oh, hi everybody, I'm girlfriend, and let's go out on a little date in the middle of the day." And so they go and they get in their car, and like this is like, okay, so the first time I saw this movie was like in 2016, 17, 18, something like that. And
Yeah, it was like 2018
yeah,
when we both watched this movie.
yeah. So, and it was like when they like pulled into like in the car and they pulled onto that street where I'm just like, okay, no, screw this. This is like, everybody who like really likes this movie who'll be like, oh, like, no, this is bad. Like, I paid $3 to watch this movie. Okay.
But then
like,
what happened,
and I
Dave?
feel, yeah. And then like, I felt like I just got like slapped. I felt like it insulted my intelligence. And you think, like, I expect movies to be filmed in like a real place and not like in a child's coloring book. That's my problem with it, is that it's infantile.
What happened right after you watched it, though?
What happened right after it?
Well, I don't know if it was immediately after, but it was.
Oh, it was a
after
few
you
days.
watched
It was a few days later. I got an email from Amazon saying, because I guess I downranked it, and I was like, do not like, would not recommend, 1 star. And I got an email saying, and I didn't ask for a refund. Amazon refunded my money. And we're like, we're sorry you had this experience. Have your money back. And I was like, oh,
you watched this movie and you
we're
paid
sorry
for
you
it.
watched
Here's
The
your money
Amazing
back.
Bulk. Here's your money back. I'm like, okay, but like, I'm not gonna like change anything. But then okay, so the next scene after that is one of the biggest problems with this movie, other than the nonsense. It's the acting, and the acting is not even really the actor's fault.
No,
It's the director, and the director's doesn't really know. I don't want to say that he doesn't have enough respect for human intelligence to know that when you are walking in place or running in place, it does not look like you are moving.
it's some of the
And
best.
that is how
some of the
every
best stuff.
single scene is shot. Like if someone has to walk somewhere and they're doing like a Sorkinian walk and talk, it's not like you have like the West Wing where you have like Aaron Sorkin. Aaron Sorkin, very famous for dialogue.
Yep.
Dialogue's a big part of his scripts. But they have to give the illusion to advance the story. So he invented the walk and talk. The forward motion gives the illusion that the story is moving forward. Okay. That is good visual story making. Okay. But, it works with Aaron Sorkin on The West Wing. And when you have a talented director like Rob Reiner in A Few Good Men, or, whoever directed Moneyball, which he also wrote, not so much with the director of The Amazing Bulk. Now, every scene where they're either like walking or running, like particularly that jogging scene where they're like going through like that child's park, where they're just like frolicking, and there's like,
Yeah.
it'd be like it's so. I wish we could just like cut to a scene of how this looks. It's bad. And then, like, when they're walking, it's either like in profile, they're just like, or it's like they're looking like it's like straight on, looking right at the camera.
Yeah.
And you're just like, yeah. And it's just like, just keep walking. And it's just like, I don't even know, like, I don't even know how the actors were able to do this. Somebody had to have said something.
You would think.
Somebody had to have said something, like one of the actors, because you would assume, like I would assume that he paid these actors, because the girl's not that bad, and even for all his faults, the general is not that bad either. But like I think like with a lot of movies, like with Birdemic and all the James Wen movies, is that the lady seems to have like, better chances after this of like their careers not like completely cratering, but
I honestly think the
dudes
general was probably one of the best actual actors.
Yeah.
Aside from, I hate dust.
Yeah, I hate dust. Well, I mean, that's a dialogue problem.
Yeah.
That that is 100% script problem. It's a lot like, I mean, like, what's he gonna say? What's he gonna say? It's kind of like In the Room. Very famously, Claudette, Tommy Wiseau's mother-in-law, gets in there and says, I definitely have breast cancer. Now, the actress, the very lovely actress, I don't remember her name right now. I don't have, like, I'm very not up to date on my room trivia. But I did watch a documentary back when I had some influence in the bad movie dumb, which I don't have anymore, but I did have a lot of sway at one point, and I did get a screener of a documentary about The Room. And I watched it, and
Carolyn Minot.
what's that?
Minot. Her name is Carolyn.
Yeah. So that actress actually went to Tommy Wiseau and said, Tommy, because she's a professional, she's getting paid to come onto set and do her best, and she went to Tommy because she didn't understand. So she went to Tommy Wiseau and said, like, I don't understand. She's telling her daughter that she has breast cancer, and it's just like nothing. Like, so, like, how do I play this? And Tom Wiseau's just like, oh, just do whatever you want to, Claudette, you know. So, and like, that was like his attitude. So I think actors have, like, you know, when something like that, I even listened to the audio commentary for Birdemic, and what's her name? Whitney Moore, who played Natalie. Like, it's like she was asked, it's like, hey, did you guys ever go to James Wan and say this script is, you know, real people don't talk like this? And she said, oh, we didn't ever stop trying, but James Wan was always like, no, say it exactly how I wrote it. So, and like, so like, actors are known to speak up when they'll be like, you know, like, this is going to make me look stupid, or I don't know how to pull this off because it's so bizarre and insane. With the walking, particularly, I think the actors had to have said, what are you doing to me?
Yeah.
Someone had to have said something.
You would think. I mean, like, hey, this is kind of weird. Can we try it this way?
Yeah, like no, like, you know, can we go outside, take a camera outside to, like, and here's the thing. These places that they go to, these places exist in real life. They do. You, like, there are apartment buildings you can go to them. You can go to them and find a hall and film your movie walking down a hall. It doesn't even have to be a hall in a place where the scene is at. Like, you look at movies like the fan movie Mega Man. Okay, I don't know if you've seen it. We did it on SRD's movie, and
I don't think I've ever actually watched that. So
I would recommend it. It's on my YouTube channel. You can film in places, like in movies like this, you can film in places that are not like homes or not like offices or places like that. And it would be acceptable in a movie like this to shoot down an apartment hallway and call it whatever hallway it is exists in this building that we're supposed to be in. That would have been better than what they did. And here's the thing, it doesn't cost anything, and the people at these places don't care.
Nope.
So,
or just do the whole movie animated. Yeah, that's a good point, Mike.
Yeah. So, but so they have a thing, and at some point Henry goes to the home of the general, the bad guy, and we get the famous scene. We get the famous line.
I hate dust.
I hate dust.
So his going there is kind of twofold. Because one, he's got to tell the guy about his project because the general's the one like trying to make him do this. And he also wants to ask the general for his daughter's hand in marriage. But that was after their date when they went on the roller coaster. Which that scene is so exceptionally poorly done in the fact that they do at some point make somewhat of an effort to like kind of move like with the animation that's there, and then they just kind of stop and they're just like sitting upright for the whole rest of it.
Yes, yeah, I mean, because roller coasters is, you very famously have like no emotions going on a roller coaster.
And you're completely still, and you don't get jostled around at all, ever, on a roller coaster.
I remember the first time I went on a roller coaster, I got a bloody nose because I did because all like the sudden stops. It's a roller coaster at Lagoon down there in Davis County. And like it had a lot of sudden stops, and like I was like a little kid, and I would just keep hitting my nose on the seat in front of me.
Ow!
Because all these sudden stops, but
Ow.
Yeah,
that doesn't sound fun at all.
No, it wasn't. I mean, it was a long time ago. But anyway, the amazing bulk. Okay, so I do want to talk about this general. Now, generally, in movies like this,
Womp.
You look at something like this, and like Ben and Arthur.
Oh God!
Everybody. Now, Sam Moravich financed that whole movie by himself, and he obviously didn't have enough money for wardrobe.
Right.
So like when the actor showed up for the day, it's like, hey, what does wardrobe have for me? He's like, hey, you're wearing it. You could tell that these actresses like wore their own clothes on, I'm not sure if that was the case here, for only one reason, because the general wears desert camouflage which I think he had to have gotten from Goodwill, and it's an Army DCU uniform from the War on Terror. It's missing the name tape, the actual like the Army uniforms have two name tapes, one that says U.S. Army, one that says your name here, and probably got it from Goodwill from somebody who didn't go to war, because you look at one of the patches on there, it's the American flag backwards. Now on that side, on the it'll be on this side. On this side, you have the American flag, and if you've been to war, you have what's called the combat patch, and it goes, and when that happens, you get the combat patch, and the American flag goes right down there. Okay, so it was, and on this side, it had 4th ID. I recognize the patch because 4th ID is the main infantry division at Fort Carson, Colorado, where I lived for 3 years of my very young life. So, but the most, and he had it completely zipped up like this, like not zipped up, but like he had it buttoned up all the way to the top. Yeah, all the way to the top. But the most, like, this general is wearing staff sergeant insignia. That is an enlisted rank. It's basically a middle manager at the company level. Not a general. It's just like the most like, dude, how hard could it have been? I mean, believe it or not, getting general stars is like the insignia, not like actually ascending to the rank of general. Yeah. You would think that is a controlled item, but it is not. You can go to clothing and sales on any base, and they have you can buy 3-star general insignia at any clothing and sales.
That doesn't sound right at all.
It
Like
doesn't.
that's
No.
not something you should be able to do.
No, no, but that's the thing. You can go to clothing and sales and buy general stars. You can buy them. It's so, but I and if you can buy them at clothing and sales, I'm not saying go to any Goodwill because I don't think any generals are out there donating their DCUs to Goodwill.
Yeah.
I don't think that's
Probably
happening.
not.
But you can go to like, I'm sure you can get them like on eBay. They're probably very easily found. No, you can buy. Okay, there's like
Get star pins on
At the
Etsy. Yeah.
yes, at the very first part of my army career, like before. I don't want to say. I guess it was before the internet, sort of. You could order insignia from this place called a catalog called 1-800 Name Tapes. And now we have like Ranger Joe's and like all kinds of these places that are independent of the army where you can get pretty much anything. You can buy these things. But no, like I don't understand how he thought you could get a DCU jacket, a DCU top, not even the complete uniform, and get it with no name tape, get it with staff sergeant insignias, and no one would notice. It's like, this is a general. Everybody knows general insignia is stars. This is like one of the most common things, like the most common rank you would think that people would know about is general stars. Some people might not know that like a colonel is the bird insignia. They might not know that a lieutenant colonel is a silver clover leaf. Some might not know that a major is a gold clover leaf, or that a captain is 2 bars. A first lieutenant is one silver bar, and a second lieutenant is a gold bar. Okay, I can understand people not in the military not knowing completely all of those.
Yeah.
But people know what sergeant stripes look like, and people know what general stars look like, and they know those two are not the same thing at all.
I mean, that's why they're called like 3-star generals.
Yes. So it's one of the things where, did we have a thing? Did we have a bot in the chat?
Yeah, no, somebody redeemed emote only.
Oh. Okay, but anyway, so like that is just something that just like where I just can't take this movie seriously and just like engage in it on a level where everyone is like, let's laugh at this dumb movie.
Yeah.
You know, like to me that's only fun when the movie is like sincere and it's like not insulted. It doesn't intend to. I don't feel like it's intending to insult my intelligence. This was just lazy, you know, like on almost every level.
Yeah.
This movie is just lazy.
The rest of the story is there's a bad guy, Dr. Kontlove, who apparently was just named after Dr. Strangelove. And he's gonna, destroy whatever, take over the world unless, they kowtow to his demands. And the general's like, all right, because I'm skipping a little too far ahead here. This Dr. Kontlove, the whole joke about him is that he has ED. Stupid.
Which it's like,
it's really dumb. Like it has no bearing on anything. Yeah,
that's just like the laziest joke you you can write.
Yeah. His name is Dr. Kontlove, and he's got ED.
Also, like him and his assistant. And that whole storyline with the amazing Bulk, like I couldn't be bothered to care about those characters because it was just like every time they showed up on screen, it's like, just go away.
Yeah.
Just stop. Please. But the other thing that we need to talk about is the detectives. And we have knockoff Michael Chiklis and Lady.
We have
And
their actual names. We have Detective Ray Garton and Detective Lisa Tuttle.
A common name roulette, everybody. But
Well, I mean, Lisa Tuttle is famously the Saved by the Bell character.
is she?
Yeah. One of the three main girls was Lisa Tuttle. But they find the dead mugger and the dead lady, and
Yeah.
they also find Hank's wallet on the scene.
Yeah.
Because as we find out in the one day earlier, he was mugged on the subway while he was trying to propose to the general's daughter, and he stole the ring. The guy stole the ring from him and his wallet. Lisa Turtle. Okay. Thank you, Rivius. I really thought it was just the same name. It's been I haven't watched Saved by the Bell since it was like Lisa Gamera. Yeah,
That's funny. Lisa Gamera.
I haven't watched Saved by the Bell.
Wait, so
since
is it
it was
Lisa
originally
Turtle
on.
in? Is it Lisa Turtle in this?
It's
or
Saved by the
Lisa...
Bell. No, it's Lisa Tuttle in this. Lisa Turtle.
Okay.
So they go to his apartment the next morning, and they're asking him, why he had his wallet, and he's like, "Well, I was mugged. He mugged me on the train the night before." And they realize that he said that the mugger killed the woman, even though they didn't say anything. And this is when they're sitting in their cop car, which is again,
with the couch.
The couch, and this one I do think was something that the director made himself, because it looks like he was trying to draw stuff with a mouse on a digital, like in Photoshop or more accurately probably Paint, MS Paint.
Yes. Now I will say that
Because the lines are very
for
squiggly.
everybody who is familiar with Mystery Science Storybook, Mystery Science Storybook was drawn completely with a trackpad. But I like to think that I'm better at it than he is.
Oh, absolutely. Your lines were straight, at least, if nothing else. His were not.
So like, I'm not saying I'm the best artist in the world, but I'm better than what happened with The Amazing Bulk. I know it can be done well.
Yeah.
It's that like for me, there's no excuse. Like, oh, I was drawing with the trackpad. Like, I don't give a shit.
I don't remember why he transforms again after that. When he starts going on the rampage through the city.
Rampage.
When the cops are chasing after him. But he's like, he transforms into the Bulk. And he's running away from the police, and he's just like kicking cars and everything out of the way.
Yeah, like the Legos. But we should talk about the other famous line from this, where like he transforms in front of knockoff Michael Chiklis and Lady. It'd be like Lady says, "Oh my gosh, what is that?" And knockoff Michael Chiklis says, "Well, it's not Barney the Purple Dinosaur." So I mean, like, I think you get like a like between that and some of the other references, particularly like his jokes about ED with Dr. Cantlove, obviously like you get kind of like a view of the range of like his knowledge. Now I know I shouldn't be judging other people for not seeing movies and being familiar with 100% of pop culture.
Yeah.
But I think that like his range of cultural knowledge is quite limited. If you're referencing, it's not Barney the Purple Dinosaur. It's like, are you 12? Like, what grown man is gonna see that and say it's not Barney the Purple Dinosaur and not kill this?
Yeah.
You know, like, yeah,
Like, I don't know what it is, but we need to shoot it.
but it's not Barney the Purple Dinosaur. It's just like, shut up, just shut up. You know, so he goes on his rampage, and they're doing their things. Oh, I think that might be, if not the worst, one of the worst, like running in motion scenes of the whole movie, where they're trying to
Yes.
shoot down the Amazing Bulk, and it's just like I I think it's in the preview on RiffTrax. Go see it. If you guys haven't watched this movie, go to rifftrax.com, and it should be like right there, like in the preview. It just looks so awkward.
It's
The
very bad.
the way these people are running and like trying to like shoot down. So and I think this probably is like on the same level of what was it we talked about recently of it might have been something from Rem Lazar, but where they are we compared something recently to the scene in Replica where the car crash
Yeah.
was just like, yeah, where it's just like everyone just like loses their mind over how ridiculous like the effect was pulled off. So they're chasing the Amazing Bulk, they're shooting at him, and Lady, I guess, gets a like Lady and knockoff Michael Chiklis get separated somehow. And there's a helicopter, and suddenly knockoff Michael Chiklis becomes the Amazing Bulk and like grabs the helicopter or something.
Yeah, he destroys the
Amazing
helicopter.
Yeah, and the Amazing Bulk is running down. He's knocking over cars left and right, and one of the cars that he knocks over goes like straight up in the air and lands on Lady.
Yeah,
killing
after
her.
Michael
Now-
Chiklis goes, look out!
Look out! And okay, so what makes this funny? If you haven't seen it, what makes it funny? But it's just like, go to hell. the cars are smaller than the people.
Yep.
Like, yeah. So she just sat there, just like watched it go up and land on her, and it's very comical. And it was, it was just like whatever car they had. In the pack, so just like the animation, whatever preset animation they had, like, okay, good enough. And it lands right on her, squish, she's dead. And then I guess Bulk, like right after that, the Amazing Bulk transforms back down.
Yeah.
And knockoff Michael Chiklis comes up and like, you killed my partner, my wife, whatever. And he's like, I didn't mean to. It's like, oh, I'm placing you under arrest. And so Bulk goes to jail. And like for like the rest of the movie, or like every time we see him, knockoff Michael Chiklis is like swearing revenge against Henry and the Amazing Bulk. So I think, like, isn't it the general that gets him out of jail?
Yeah,
And
he
says-
takes him
Yeah.
and puts him in some lab somewhere.
Yeah.
And
It says you're gonna go kill Dr. Cantlove or something.
yeah, and if you do, I'll give you the cure. We discovered the cure. I'll give you the cure. And so you just gotta go kill him. I'll give you the cure, and then you can marry my daughter.
Yeah, so, well, obviously he goes and he does his mission, and he's betrayed, and
By the general, yep.
by the general is like firing missiles at Dr. Cantlove's castle.
This scene where he's like doing the running away bit, and then
Yes,
like
this
chasing
is-
after him with tanks and stuff. That's where some of the edits were in, because there were some things that I remembered being in those scenes that weren't in. This
Oh, you're talking
version.
about the riff tracks? Yeah, okay.
And
But here's the thing.
Because we were talking about how it was like edited down by like 10 minutes or something when they released
Yeah,
it.
like you don't miss any of it. I
No,
mean, Jeremy
it's
might
all
have, but I
nonsense.
mean, like,
I
did you
just noticed.
genuinely miss it though?
I didn't miss it. I just noticed it wasn't there.
Yeah. Okay. Um. So he gets betrayed, and the missile comes, and I guess the missile misses, and he starts running away. And what's that? And so they have stock music, and this is where a lot of the Amazing Bulk's notoriety comes from. Is this sequence?
I think isn't it just the William Tell Overture?
No,
1812. 1812.
Okay, yeah, that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they have that, and he's like running through every stock background that they have against every stock character that they have. I think that they're like Zeus starts throwing lightning bolts at him. Like I wish I had like a list. Like
there was a goblin
if I
with
didn't-
the
Yeah.
CG pug dog.
Yes, the CG pug dog. They have like angels. They have a. I think the one that gets me most is the gecko checking his email.
He's typing and
desert.
he's typing "I am a gecko" on the laptop.
Yeah,
That's all.
so-
That's all it is.
And then at some point, the music becomes When Johnny Comes Marching Home. And there's a guy that the general's talking to in a fighter jet.
Yep.
And he's like shooting missiles at the Amazing Bulk. And one of them finally catches up with the Amazing Bulk, and you get like, you know how in Doctor Strangelove, oh, there we go. You know how in Doctor Strangelove, you have a guy riding a nuclear missile down as it, you know, that very famous shot from Doctor Strangelove where this guy's riding a nuclear weapon down and like cowboy hat and all that. That's very evocative of all this. Jeremy, what are you doing?
I'm here's Michael Chiklis
Yeah.
as the Bulk killing the helicopter. I'm trying to find the picture of the pug. Here's their cop car. That was very obviously hand drawn.
You just had it. Well, I'm gonna continue. So he gets the Amazing Bulk, and nuclear mushroom cloud explodes, and General's like, "Yes, I got him." Blah. So, but somehow, amazingly, the Amazing Bulk survives, and he goes back to his girlfriend and is like, "Oh, girlfriend, I survived," and then I love you. Will you marry me? And this kind of stuff. And then the general shows up and is like, "No, you're supposed to be dead." And they do like a thing where he grabs him and they have like a little tussle, a little like fight, and they fall off a balcony and they both die.
Yeah.
So and then like cut to this CGI grave of
bats flying
of
across
Henry.
the moon, and
Yeah. And the girl shows up and it's like, "Oh, I'm gonna miss you," and she F's off.
yeah,
And then knockoff Michael Chiklis comes.
immediately
It's like,
after her.
Yes, I'm gonna piss on your grave for killing my partner wife. And as he's doing that, he comes up and he like you see the purple hands smack him in the sides of the head, and that's it. The movie's over.
Yep.
So yeah, sequel bait, I guess.
Well, that's where the book comes in, I'm sure.
Yeah. So yeah,
They
so
could do some cross
that's
promotion and make that a special, like 2-part episode of 372 pages, because it's 110 pages long. Not very long at all.
So that's how the movie ends. The movie ends with knockoff Michael Chiklis taking a pee and getting killed. So yeah, that's the Amazing Bulk. I hate it. I did promise that I would tell you about a movie that I was in that is not comparable to The Amazing Bulk, but it does have a similarity to it. Is that I was in this movie that was written by this guy named Joseph James, did a famous bad movie called Masonic Map.
I didn't
And
like
he
the
did
ending, but I liked it ending. Yes,
yeah,
very well put.
he did a follow-up, and I saw this movie when it was first screened at the Masonic Temple in Salt Lake City in 2011. I was like, I love everything about this. I went up to Joseph James like, hi, I want to be part of whatever you're doing next. And I was invited to help make his follow-up to Masonic Map called Templar Nation. And my role in Templar Nation, I had many roles, but I was basically a CGI shadow where we shot a bunch of stuff in this self-storage unit that had a green screen painted wall in West Valley, where we did a bunch of like historical backstory stuff. And it was just like it was like the funnest thing. It was back in 2012. I believe Templar Nation is available on YouTube. It's owned by Maverick Films.
I think it was on Amazon Prime to watch.
Yeah,
the last
so
time I looked it up.
yes, I am in that. Anytime you see a long-haired silhouette just getting its ass kicked, that's me. I would love for RiffTrax to riff Templar Nation, because I want to be in a movie that was riffed by RiffTrax. I think, and it's very riffable. It's the kind of movie that I think RiffTrax could be able to license. Now the thing is that all of my scenes were shot against a green screen, much like what I assume the every single scene in The Amazing Bulk was shot against.
Yeah, everything was on green screen.
Yeah, so, and then, like my friend Richard Dutcher, who directed God's Army, is a very famous independent filmmaker, was also, they hired him to play one of the roles. It's all like like the movie starts off, everything in like Eric Estrada's in this movie as well. So I've been in a movie with Eric Estrada. It's of light blast fame. Everything, like they shot some scenes at like the University of Utah, at the Masonic Temple in Salt Lake City. They only get to like the CGI stuff like later on.
Yeah.
Like after there's a significant like non-silhouette stuff that is shot in front of the green screen there in West Valley. I know Richard and quite a few people spent a lot of time in that same self-storage unit that I did. But the thing is, they weren't like walking in place. They were like actually acting in front of these green screens. So that's another reason why like I can't really like enjoy The Amazing Bulk the way a lot of people can, in addition to the reasons that I already have stated, was because I have personally been a part of something that is very much like this. And while Templar Nation is a shit movie, and I knew that, we all knew it when we were making it, everybody except Joseph James knew that. Joseph James is very much like Neil Breen and Tommy Wiseau. He's so oblivious.
It's funny that you mentioned Tommy Wiseau too here, because the director of this movie pulled a Tommy Wiseau, and after it came out, it was like, oh no, I was making a parody.
No, you weren't.
It was a parody. It was supposed to be goofy and dumb and making fun of superhero movies.
No, bro, if you were making fun of superhero movies, you wouldn't have made The Amazing Bulk. I know that. But I don't know. Like, do you have anything else to say about The Amazing Bulk? I mean, like last week we got, or 2 weeks ago, whatever, however long ago it was. I feel like we've had two Riff of the Year contenders. I know a lot of people are going to love this. And like, you know what? I don't really hate that RiffTrax did this. I understand it. I just don't like the movie itself. I think that I think it's one of those movies that it's like has this sort of artificial cultness around it. And I think, you know, it's bad famous for, I think, all the wrong reasons.
Yeah. I would agree with that. It feels more like people are watching and be like, oh yeah, this movie's, it's so bad and it's great and we all love it. And I think
I don't think it's so bad it's good. I think it's
No.
so bad that it's just bad.
Anybody who says they like it, they're the type of people who they only do things for the memes.
Yeah, so I mean, there are certain people that I will give a pass to on this. Like anybody watching or listening to this podcast, they get it. You get a pass if you can hear my voice. I'm not talking about you. So we're good.
Yeah.
But I think that there's a segment of the bad movie watcher population that is, it's like, I don't think we should be elevating movies like this. Now, I understand why RiffTrax did it. It's because it has a very large fan base. It's very well known, and it's going to get them a lot of sales outside of the RiffTrax fan base. So I get it. I do. And I don't really hold it against them either. But man, not a fan.
I'm going to say that I didn't hate this watching it riffed as nearly as much as I did watching it vanilla. So at least it had that going for it.
Yeah, it does have that going for it. And you know what? I will give it this. It's like when you compare, I still think this is worse than Copper Mountain. But I actually, in preparation, I did watch this. I've watched this more times than I've watched Copper Mountain. Copper Mountain, I think, it's almost unwatchable. This is at least you can watch it. But I still think it's worse for the reasons that I have said.
Yeah.
But at the very least, you can watch it.
This one I could actually watch again, riffed.
Yeah.
I'm probably not going to rush to do that, like I did the last release that they did.
Oh yeah. No.
Of Rem Lazar.
Yeah, let's talk about this. You compare this to something like Creating Rem Lazar, which, like, man, you have, like, it's just like I think these are probably both by Jeremy. I think these are probably both like S tier riff tracks in the long run, where the Amazing Bulk is going to be like this major part of the RiffTrax canon, and so is Creating Rem Lazar.
I just had to go grab this really quick.
Okay. I've been talking a lot lately about how I feel like we might be entering a new golden age of RiffTrax, and how, we had The Little Mermaid, we had Grim Tracks, we had Creating Rem Lazar, and now we have
some
this.
Very strong releases this year.
Yes, so I think this is it. I will give it this. I think it's an extremely strong. It's a good choice for a release, because, like I already said, it gives them, it brings in the Amazing Bulk fan base, and it's like, oh, let's get the RiffTrax for it. But I think that it's worthy of inclusion just on that basis.
Yeah.
So, and I think that, like, if the selection like this continues, in fact, I think we probably already are in it. The this new golden age of RiffTrax, because man, if we're getting the Paradise Motel, and then we're getting the Little Mermaid, and then we're getting Creating Rem Lazar, and then we're getting the Amazing Bulk, man, what's next? I mean, we're getting Point Break as a live show.
Yeah.
So I mean, like, if you're a RiffTrax fan, man, this is like one of this is probably one of the greatest times to be a RiffTrax fan, to be perfectly honest.
Yeah, I would agree. Rivius doesn't have time to watch bad movies on Rift. Yeah. Yeah. I don't currently, with any position at work, thankfully, but I do like to torture myself from time to time with a bad movie.
And I think if they do Madam Web, I think that's going to be like something that would just be amazing too.
Oh,
So
yeah.
like I think that like, you know, I think that I think we're there. I think we're in another golden age. So thumbs up to you, RiffTrax. Do you want to rate this thing? Because I'm going to rank it all zeros.
Yeah, we don't need to rank it.
Like, you know, it's because like the acting. The only thing I could think of like maybe giving it more than zero was the acting, because I didn't want to be too mean to the actors. But at the same time, there was the walking in place, the running in place, and that can't be. It happened, you know. So it's a zero, and it's not the actor's fault. It's definitely the director's. So,
100%. But yeah, I think that's gonna do it for us today. This is a good riff. It is a very good riff.
Yes, it's a good riff.
There's the whole bit riff. At the very beginning with the full moon and Bill just going like, it's right in my eye. Lots of hot cheese in my face. I really enjoyed that one. There was also a Tex Murphy joke that I was not expecting. I should have been expecting it. Because the game, it does look like those old FMV games. There's a joke about Myst, and they're also like when they get to the mansion, the general's mansion. They're like, I think I remember Myst looking better than this.
Do you remember? There's a version of the Game of Life and like Monopoly that like Hasbro Games put out, like this CD-ROM.
Mm-hmm.
It's that kind of animation.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's very, you know, like the cheapest animation you could possibly find pre-rendered.
Yeah, a lot of people mentioning Tex Murphy in the chat. I used to play those games a lot. My friend had all of them, and we would go over there and it's an old like kind of point and click adventure thing. It was.
Is that like Leisure Suit Larry?
No, it was like a noir, cyberpunk noir crime thing. Takes place on like Mars and stuff. But there's some great stuff in here. If you have not watched it yet, I'm gonna say just get it now. It's like an hour long, and it's
not. The thing is, there's also, and I will give it this too. Even though I still maintain it's the worst movie RiffTrax has done. It doesn't have a Copper Mountain effect, which is not something a lot of movies we've watched recently can say.
And it doesn't feel like Cats. It doesn't feel like a struggle to get through it. Like you're sitting there like, I'm not gonna make it.
I was annoyed the whole time, but at the same time, it wasn't like, when is this going to end? Like, it does go by fast.
Yeah. But definitely check it out. It's top tier. It really is.
It's quality.
Yeah, but that's gonna do it for us for real this time. If you like the podcast and you want to support us, the best way to do that is to follow us on Twitch, and that way you'll get notified every Tuesday when we're gonna go live. And
we got to get a Discord invite link so people can come in and be part of the community.
Yeah,
I'll
put it in my to-do list.
There's a if you go to X, formerly known as Twitter, you go to my Twitter page at @DChadwickAuthor. I have a link tree there, and there's a Discord invite in the link tree. So follow that, and it'll take you to, and like the True Blue Riffcast community, like all the announcements is integrated into my personal Discord.
Yeah. That I have easy, quick access to, so I can go skabam right there. But yeah, you guys, you can follow the podcast on Twitter at TB Riffcast, and I'm pretty much everywhere as PB and Awesome.
And I'm Dave. You can check me out on Amazon and Audible, and right there on Twitter.
All right, we will see you guys next time right here on the True Blue Riffcast.
Thanks for hanging out. See you later. Rock till you die.